Well, one of the things about the ID20 is it has a rope length limit of 360 feet. Having tested the Toronto Hall rappel several times, it's really hard to start going on 300 feet because you have to lift the weight of 300 feet of rope to go up. Same thing with the Rescue Figure of 8. Its limit is about 300 feet. The brake rack is good for longer rappels because you don't have to lift the rope to feed it. You don't have to lift the rope to start it. So we're going to use the traditional aluminum bar rack. There's a steel one there. And these have a training groove in it, the aluminum ones. The steel one doesn't. So it has a hyper bar, the steel bar at the top with the pin. So same thing. Pull it tight before you start to thread the bars in. Grab the hyper pin. Now put the bar in. You got to make sure that the bar, as it goes in, when you pull up on a bar, it doesn't pop it. If you clip this in 180 degrees the other way, the bar will pop when you lean back on it. So when I thread it, if I can't lift the rope up and it's in this position, anybody can push 300 feet of rope, right, to get the bars in. So just come back, put it on the hyper bar, squeeze the J if you need to. Put all the bars in. How come I'm going to put all the bars in before I rappel?
It's easier to do it than putting them in while you're online.
Well, if I step back on 3 bars and I'm 350 pounds and I've got heavy pack on, I'm going for a long ride. So right now I've got all the friction in. I load the system up. Okay, I load the system up. I see how it's going. I bring it into position. I'm not moving. Then I can start to take bars away. As you're plummeting towards the ground, it's pretty hard to throw bars in. Now, there's some, I'll get people who argue this with me, but I defer to my friends in the caving community at this point. Run the rope between your legs, and that doesn't mean like this, okay? Run the rope between your legs so you can push and pull. And what it does, if I hold it on the figure of 8 position, I start to lose the last bar, to whichever bar it is, right? And torque the device. This way I'm capturing all the bars by pushing and pulling. Just think it'll be in a vertical position when you step back. All right, so I always count below the hyper bar, minimum 3 bars on a 5 bar rack. So I want to get rid of one. I'm just going to pop it off. And now there's 2 ways to control this. That's you pushing down on the last bar and pushing these up to control the friction. It's in the training groove at the back. It's getting friction here, 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 and here. And I can lift up here, get it off the back bar, spread the bars apart. A little too much for here. Just pop one off. There's 3. At the edge, you're probably going to use that 4th one because it's a vertical environment. Okay, push them up to go slow. In a hurry, if I need friction, I can always do this on a short rappel. Right, grab the hyper bar. In a longer rappel, you're not going to have that issue because you got all that weight of rope. So I want to tie off. So, do I want to tie off right now with 3 bars or all the bars?
All the bars. All the bars.
How come? What's the advantage?
It's easier putting them in now that you're stopped.
It'll be easier and you won't
Control.
better control.
Exactly. Or if I've stopped to do a pick-off, so I stopped to pick you off, I've got my weight on a transfer on a pick-off strap, your weight, all of a sudden our combined weights on 3 bars is going to be a big difference. So I'm going to put all the bars in. In your notes you have an entire PDF on brake rack tie-offs. There's lots and lots of different ways to tie off a brake rack, different schools of thought. I just defer to Russa Anderson's way where it shows the tie off around the bars. I don't particularly care. You read the document, you decide how you'd like to tie off. So basically what I do is I'm going to capture the hyper bar a couple of times, and then I'm going to make a bulky knot around everything. I like the stopper knot personally. Okay, and I can always clip this off. Okay, then I can do my work. Now, I take this apart. Really careful, there is no auto stop on the brake rack, right? If I totally take hands off, even with this many bars on, I'm going to move. With all the bars in, there's a chance I can regain control. If you're down on 3 bars, and you let go of your hands, you're not going to. But what do we have today? We got the belay rope, right? The belay's a belay is a belay. Brake bar will give you longer rappels. It lacks the panic brake. It gives you a little bit more friction. The ID20, forgot to mention, you can get extra friction by redirecting the rope through the hip. Just clip in here and just redirect your rope. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay,
you
slack
have
on
your
belay.
slack on belay. Rick, you're on.
Okay, good speed.
Okay, good speed, Jeff. Keep going.